Jaylen, so with you being an athlete from Lee County, how would you say your process for preparing for college went?
I was fortunate that, I didn't really have any information. When you're a student athlete, the colleges kind of take a lot of control of like your grades and getting you enrolled. I went into college in January, so Florida was very hands-on with connecting with my guidance counselor and getting everything, in order for me to get up there. But from a this is a learning session for me because I don't know anything about it. I got two sisters that are in college now, and just seeing their process. Matter of fact, it was like 2 weeks ago. Actually, a week ago, my little sister, she just got into Florida, and she's talking about her shots and all these different things, and I was like, damn, I just I just packed my bags, and then my mom dropped me off. So I was lucky.
Right.
Yeah.
All you had to do is just show up and make sure you was at practice on time, right?
Yeah. They gonna make sure they take care of that for sure.
Yeah. Cool, cool. So we got a couple people from Fort Myers. We got Tampa. Where else we have? Cape Coral. Okay, so we got a couple people tuning. We'll give them a couple more minutes for tuning in. And if anybody that is currently watching now, if you're a member with Suncoast Credit Union, let us know if you're a member, how long you've been a member with Suncoast. And in the meantime, Jaylen, so with your foundation, O.B.O. Foundation, I see that you guys are doing a lot of great things in the community. I've also noticed you, your brother Sammy, and Trey are also trying to bring a workout facility down in Lee County. Can you
Mhm.
tell the people a little bit about your foundation and why it's important to you to kind of bring something like that, the facility down to Lee County?
Well, the name of the foundation is Opportunity Breeds Opportunities, and I think just watching the scholastic athletes over the years, Southwest Florida has we've always had talent, but it's starting to get recognized. So we always wanted to bring a facility there, but we wanted it to be the right facility. And D1 specifically, the franchise, they uh, they pertain more to the scholastic side of and the prep side of sports. And most of the facilities on this side over in Davie are for the college and the professional, but nobody really kind of markets towards the youth when it comes to just training, everyday training, and not specifically a sport, just athletic based training anyway, in any form. So D1, that's where we bring that there, and then we have the kids can have a place to train, and I have my foundation, Trey has his, my brother has his. We have so many plans to kind of run our foundations through the facility, and we're excited about it. We're hoping to be open in February, March, somewhere around that time. Um, so yeah, it's coming together along pretty fast.
Cool, cool. Why do you think putting on this presentation today for the viewers is important and even connected with your foundation?
Because when coming up, I didn't have any financial background, and I was young and I came into a lot of money. So there were some mistakes along the way. I was released. So there's a lot of things that happened to me very early in my 20s, and I didn't have anything. I didn't know anything. And so I had to learn on my own or, reach out for resources for the people around me. And then I just started thinking about, other kids that are coming up and don't have the ability to have those resources, whether it be teammates. I had teammates who have been through the process or, college teammates who've been through the process. And I just thought, what's a way that I could bring these resources, financial resources, to people, and allow them to be able to progress in life, make it easier for them. A lot of times the information is just not given to us. But, you know, being able to partner with Suncoast, and you've been a, athlete from Fort Myers, and doing very well. And it's just good to be able to partner and come back and share information, man. That's really what it is, about sharing information. And anybody can do whatever they want with the information, but I think as long as we're giving it to them, and I think that's good.
Right, right. Now, we're sharing information. I think we got a couple people viewing now. I'm sure they're interested and eager to kind of find out what it is that we're going to share with them today. So with that being said, I'll go ahead and get started. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Again, I'm Troy Simmons. I'm manager for Suncoast Credit Union in Bonita Springs. So what I do in Bonita is pretty much I help people make their big financial decisions. Everybody will come in, they're not sure what they'd like to do with their money or how to go about managing their money. So I do my best to advocate for them and help them make the right financial decision for themselves. As you guys heard Jaylen state, he was young, he came into a lot of money. There were some mistakes made, which is understandable. That's why we are here at Suncoast to kind of help you guys not make those mistakes and kind of give you the education and the knowledge behind it. Suncoast being a part with the O.B.O, this is in Suncoast's DNA. Our foundation has donated over $30 million in the last 30 years to the community to help promote financial education and financial literacy. I like to call it financial health instead of financial literacy because it is the health piece for you guys. Literacy is a term that you can use if you don't know something, but health is better because once you know something, you do a lot better. So I'll go ahead and get started with this presentation today, and we're going to talk about preparing yourselves for college. So, college financing. Now, if you guys in the chat go ahead and kind of drop down, what college financing means to you, if you've had help with college financing, or even just getting prepared for college. I know growing up, I'm in a household with a single mother. She graduated 4 kids from college. All of us have our college degrees, but there were learning, we had to learn as well how to get financed for college. Some of us were athletes. My younger brother played football for North Carolina, so he received a scholarship. I played basketball. I received a scholarship as well, but I did have to look for college financing as well. So let me go ahead and get started for you guys. And again, thank you guys for tuning in today, and I hope that I teach you guys something today. So, saving vehicles. Do not start tomorrow. Do not start next week. Don't start next month. Start yesterday. There's never a time where you should not save money. Save early. The earlier you save, the better you'll be later off in life. You can start with your direct deposit. Everybody gets paid. Everybody that works, you get a paycheck every 2 weeks, whether you get paid weekly. Save some of that money. Have some of it go directly to an account where you don't see, because if you don't see the money, you're not going to spend it. When you get paid, the first thing most people do is they go check their bank account to make sure that their money is in their account. Now, if you have a portion of that money going to another account where you don't see it, it's likely for that money to continue to grow. You check it every 6 months or to a year, you'll be amazed about how much money you saved and without you even doing anything. There's many options for you to save money for college. We have a 529 plan. There's a Coverdell account that you can open up. There's a uniform transfer minor account that you can open up, which the parents can open up for their kids, which you'll be a guardian on. And I'll touch bases on those later in the slides as well. There's many options for you to save money. Now, a lot of you may be kind of, eerie about saving money or don't know the proper way to save money. So come talk to us at Suncoast. We'll help you out. Also consult with a financial advisor. We do have financial advisors at Suncoast Credit Union. If you're a member, you can come talk to them for free, consult with them. They'll help you and put you in a better position. Our goal at Suncoast Credit Union is to help put all of our members in a position that'll better them for the next day and also for their family. Now, who's responsible for saving for college? Now, it could be a tricky question. I'm sure a lot of people will say, oh, my mom, my grandmother, oh, me. So you guys in the chat, drop down who you think should be responsible for saving money for college. Now, if you ask me, I'm going to say yes, the parent as well, because they can help save a little bit earlier than you. But you've been a young adult, it's time to take responsibility. When you get to college, mom and dad's not going to be there to hold your hand, wake you up, to get ready to go to school, to attend your class. No, it's on you now. Start saving for money. Your parents can open up accounts for you in the meantime. They can put money away. But if you're working, save some of your money. A lot of us in the community, we start working at a young age. Myself, I started working, my first job was at Cold Stone in Fort Myers. I love that job. And I did save some of my money. Yes, some of it was to go to college, but a lot of it was just for me to spend. I didn't really know how to manage my money at the time that well, but I went to educate myself. Then I started to save that money. As I stated, I was in a single-parent household. My mom had 4 kids. Yes, my mom did her best to help save money and help prepare us to go to college, but I did know that I'd have to look for scholarships. So that's the responsibility as a young adult that you can take on. Now, as far as who's supposed to save the money for college, I would say both of you. So the last point that says both, if you can save some money for college, please do so. Start now. Don't start tomorrow or next week. Don't procrastinate, because we all know college is not getting any cheaper. Now, as I just stated, college is definitely not getting any cheaper. The cost of college is going up. I know my mom said back in the day a credit hour used to be a couple bucks. Now it's like $600, $300 for one credit hour. How do you lower those costs? Go to in-state public schools. If you're in-state, you can look at opportunities from Bright Futures in the state of Florida. They'll help attribute some money to your credit hours where you don't have to pay all the money up front. Live off campus. Buy groceries. Room and board is costly. As if you were on it earlier, you heard Jaylen say, he plays football for the Gators. I'm sure they took care of his room and board. If you're not that fortunate, live off campus. Get some people to kind of buddy up with the room and split the rent. If the rent's $1,000, you got 4 people in there, it's $250 a person. Hey, now you're saving some money then. Go to a community college for the first 2 years. Get your AA. Now with going to a community college, you've cut your cost of college off in half because you've done 2 years already. Fort Myers, we have a great community school, which is Florida Southwestern. If you're local in the area, go to FSW. They have great courses. You can get your AA to go to a 4-year university. If you're still in high school looking for ways to save money or lower the cost of college, I highly recommend taking AP classes, which is advanced courses, advanced placement courses. When I was in school, I took 2 advanced placement courses. The AP classes actually give you college credit, so you don't have to take that class when you're in college because you've earned it in high school. Now, ponder on that a little bit. You're in high school, but you're taking college courses. Yes, that's going to help you cut the cost. That's one less course you have to take in college. So if that's one less course, that's one less class that you have to take and then have to pay for that class. Because as I stated earlier, college is not getting any cheaper. So take advantage of your AP courses if you're in high school. Go to community colleges as well. Earn your AA. You cut the cost in half. Live off campus or attend a school in your state. Now, what type of accounts can you guys open up to kind of help prepare you guys for college? There's a lot of different custodial accounts. Now, custodial account means there's only someone that's over the account, which is the custodian, and they're in control of that account. We have an UTMA account, which is a UTMA, which is a uniform transfer to a minor account, which allows you to transfer those funds to the minor when they become of age. There's no income, there's no contribution limits or withdrawal restrictions on those funds. It's limited tax-deferred growth, which means you don't have to pay taxes on that money that you're saving for your child to go to college. Now, as I stated, some of those funds will transfer to the child depending on the age. Certain states have different restrictions and age requirements as well. So check with your state, check with a financial advisor to see what those age restrictions are based on your location and where you're at. A lot of you guys are here in the state of Florida that are tuned in. It can be 18 or 21. Now, be careful when you're opening up some of these custodial accounts because some of it can affect your financial aid when you're going to college in the future. I know it sounds funny. How is it the money that I'm saving today going to affect me later to go to college? Yes, it does. Consult with a CPA or financial advisor to see how today is going to affect you in the long run if you're going to open up a custodial account. Now, Coverdell accounts, I recommend these. I like them. We see them at Suncoast Credit Union. We do offer these. It's tax deferred, so as I just stated a moment ago, you don't have to pay taxes right away on these funds. The contributions are not tax deductible as well. If you're using the money for college, you will not get penalized. Now, if you don't use the money for college, Uncle Sam's going to come by and say, hey, I need my 10%. That's a fact. Uncle Sam is always around when money's involved. There's no way to beat Uncle Sam. Pay Uncle Sam, and Uncle Sam will be happy with you. Now, there's different investment options that you can invest in when it comes to the Coverdell. Look at mutual funds. Look at some stocks. Look at bonds. I know bonds are typically an older style way of saving money, but we do see a lot of bonds coming into Suncoast still today. So if your parents have bonds and you can redeem those bonds to get the money out today, use the bonds. That's extra money going towards your college future to where you don't have to come out of pocket and pay. Now, with the Coverdell, it does have some contribution, income, and age restrictions. And with the Coverdell, you're only allowed to contribute up to $2,000 per year, and that's per beneficiary. So if you have multiple beneficiaries, you can up that limit of $2,000. But the Coverdell is typically for one person, so that $2,000 limit, you cannot go over that limit in 1 year. So just be careful. Monitor the amount of money that you're depositing. Like I said, if it's $5 a week, so what? Everybody's situation is different. Invest your money, save your money. That $5, 10 years later down the road can be $100,000, just how you invest it. So save your money, invest it. Look out and look into the age restrictions in your states because they vary depending on the state that you guys are located in. Now, 529 plan. I never heard of a 529 plan. I'm sure most of you that are on this webinar probably haven't heard of a 529 plan either. A 529 plan wasn't introduced to me until I started working in the financial industry. It got brought to my attention when I told my first manager I was having my first kid in Sage. He said, hey, you better invest in a 529 plan. I looked at him like, 529 plan? What is a 529 plan? We just dropped a link in the chat. Open it up. You can compare the 529 and the Coverdell with the link that we just dropped in the chat. 529 plans, it's two types offered by your state. You can invest in another state's plan. I recommend prepaid tuition plans as well, but only if you're going to attend a university in that state. If you don't attend a university in that state, you can run into some issues and complications for trying to get the funds to go to another university. So if you're 100% sure you're going to go to a school in the state of Florida, absolutely invest in a prepaid tuition plan for the state of Florida. If you're going to be a Gator like Jaylen was, invest in the prepaid tuition plan. There's no tax on those funds or earnings if you're going to use those funds for education costs. As I stated earlier, if you do not use those funds for education expenses, you will be taxed. Uncle Sam will come by and knock on your front door and say, hey, I need my 10%. If you don't give Uncle Sam your 10%, you can run into tax liens, and you do not want to play that game with Uncle Sam. So as I stated, just pay Uncle Sam and you'll be A-okay. Depending on the state returns, some of those contributions can be deductible on your tax return. State of Florida, we don't have state taxes, so don't worry about it. Other states, look into that and see and talk with your CPA or financial advisor as well to see how you can use that to deduct from your tax returns. Now, financial aid. How many of you on this webinar today know what financial aid is, or even just the process of financial aid? When I was in high school, My guidance counselor, Ms. Henderson, was my best friend. I made her my best friend for a reason, because I knew I was going to need help to get to college and get funding for college. There's another link also as well in the chat for you guys to open up. It's a resource. Please use it. With financial aid, the different sources that are out there is government. You have school sources for financial aid and private. There's different foundations that can help you fund your financial aid. As I stated earlier on the webinar, Suncoast Credit Union has a foundation that has donated over $30 million to the community to help educate and promote education. Look out. Go do your research. Get on the computer, Google. Instead of staying on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, all those social media sites for those 30 minutes, use that time to go and research other sources and how you can get financial aid to go to college and to further your education. There's different types of financial aid that you can receive, which you have grants, there's loans, student loans, you can do work study and scholarships. These different types of financial aid I'll touch on in a moment. And financial aid is pretty much it's open to everyone. It's based on qualification and your academic merit needs. So don't think that you can go to school and just get all this money and, when it's time for, a refund, you get this big fat refund check and you just got all these loans. Don't do that, guys. I went to school. I always used to see people lined up out financial aid door when it was refund time. Everybody wanted their refund. They wanted that money to go spend it. But my honest answer to that is you should really be at your financial aid office before you get your refund check, just to make sure you have all the funding you need to cover the cost for college. Don't think this money is free, especially student loans, which I'll talk about later. You don't want to take out money that you can't repay or have a hard time repaying later, because student loan debt is a serious thing, especially in the United States. There's a lot of people in debt with student loans. I think the average person when they graduate college is about $40,000 in student loan debt. It's a lot of money, $40,000. So just think about that. Graduated college, I got my degree, but yet I'm already in debt. It's true. Look for other resources. Look for grants. Look for scholarships, work study. I'll talk about that again in a moment. Now, how many of you guys on the call, like I asked a moment ago, know the process of financial aid? It's tough. It's an easy process once you do your research. If you guys wanted to know how to work Instagram or work the new Snapchat filter, you guys will do your best to learn how to work it and also figure out which one is the best. So when it comes to financial aid, find out what's the process, find out what funds you can receive, what grants, what student loans you should take out, and work study. Use that same time that you spend on the social media platforms, use that time to better yourself. Don't spend all that time on Instagram where you can be researching and also filling out a application, which is your FAFSA, which you have to fill out. There's deadlines for these things, and you have to apply early. With FAFSA, the deadline is from October to June, and I also recommend you guys going on to FAFSA's website to check out what the deadlines are for certain applications, and also the different funds that you guys can receive, because they do have deadlines. With student loans, you have to apply on a certain period of time before they close or you'll miss out. Grants, you have to apply for grants. See what the time frame is for your grants as well. Now, your financial aid develops your aid package. That's why I say it's very important for you guys to go down to your financial aid and find out who the counselors are and make them your buddy. When I got to college, my financial aid officer was my best friend. I never had an issue because I knew I could go have a conversation with this individual and they would help me. I made him my best friend. We talked about everything. We didn't just talk about how can I get money, how can I get more money for school. Open up. the more you talk, the longer the conversations go, the more they're able to help you out and find the need that you really need to help you stay in school. You don't want to go to college and you're trying to find the money to start the next semester when you just went through all this blood, sweat, and tears studying day and night for the first semester, and now you don't have the funds to cover your second semester. Don't get in that predicament. It's a tough situation to be in, so please go talk to your financial aid office. They're there to help you. They're a resource. Just like if you guys need help to, fill out an application with a job, FAFSA is the same way. Learn out how to fill out a FAFSA. It can be complicated. They do have a webinar, which I'll talk about later on, for you guys to go on to and find out how to fill out a FAFSA application. So grants. What are grants? Grants is pretty much it's just a cash award for you, and you don't have to pay it back. Suncoast gives out grants. There's grant writers that are out there that you can reach out to help you get grants and also get the funds, and it's usually on a need basis. They don't just pass this out because, hey, I need this money to go buy some new tires. No. This is on a need basis. So if you need a grant to help with your financial aid to help you continue college, it's here. Now, the Pell Grant, this money is guaranteed for you. When I was in school, I always checked my financial aid, and if I saw my Pell Grant was there, I was happy. I know that's guaranteed money that's going to my education. Now, with these as well, you don't want to wait till the last minute to apply for your grants because it's on a need basis. So those funds can run out, and you want to make sure you're there first, and you don't want to apply late. The earlier you apply, the more likely you have to obtain these funds for college. Now, the Supplemental Educational Opportunity Grant, these funds are not guaranteed. It does not mean that you won't get them. Unlike the Pell Grant, that money is guaranteed. You will get that money. So if you ask me, I like the Pell Grant over than the Supplemental Educational Opportunity Grant because I know it's guaranteed. I don't have to worry about the money. There's no better feeling than going to sleep knowing that something is paid for. There's times I'm sure some of you guys that are tuned in where you went to sleep one night and you didn't know how you were going to pay rent the next day. Hey, you don't want to be in that position when it's coming to college. You want to make sure that you do have the money and that it's going to be paid for. So look into grants. My mom told me about a lady in Jacksonville. They call her the $1 Million Grant Writer. She's written over grants for $1 million. There's people out there that help with grants and get you money. And like I said, with Suncoast Credit Union, we do give out grants. Visit our website at suncoastcreditunion.com and go on there and do your research and use the links and find out where to go and how you can obtain this money because it's out there. Don't leave this free money on the table, guys. And there's a lot of money that's being left out on the tables for us to go in to grab and use for college. Now, student loans. It's a big one. Like I said, there's over the average person that graduates college in $40,000 in debt with student loans. If you don't have to take out student loans, great. Everybody's not as fortunate to get a athletic scholarship that pays for your college. You don't have to worry about, hey, is my room and board paid? Are my books paid? If you have to take out student loans, that's okay. It's not a negative thing to take out student loans. The money is there to help you further your education. Now, there are different types of student loans. It's not just one student loan and, hey, you give it to me and I may have to pay it back or I may not have to pay it back. You do have to pay your student loans back. Some of them you can get deferred. If you're a teacher, your payments are deferred because you're a teacher. So that is a benefit of being a teacher without having to pay your student loans. Now, you have subsidized and non-subsidized Stafford loans. In the chat, if anybody knows what a subsidized loan is, feel free to drop it in the chat. They are different. Subsidized, you don't have to pay the interest right away. That money is there for you. You take out the student loan, go through college. 6 months after you graduate, guess what? Time to pay that money back. They're going to get that money. It's not free money. Do not take out more money than you need. Don't just continue to apply for student loans because you know the money is there just to get a bigger refund check. You do not want to do that because when you graduate, you do have to pay that money back. Yes, the term is longer for you to pay back. There's many options for you to set up with your student loans to repay it back. I don't recommend you guys just taking out the money just to take it because it's there. Again, it is a loan, and you do have to pay that money back. Now, with the unsubsidized, the interest accumulates immediately. You can pay it monthly. The money is compounded monthly with the interest. So what that means is it's interest on top of interest. Some of those rates are pretty low. I like the subsidized because you don't have to pay the interest. The government actually pays it for you. So that's the benefit, and that's the real difference between the two. So subsidized, you don't have to pay the interest right away. The government is paying it for you. Non-subsidized, the interest accumulates the day you obtain the loan. And these are the most common. Now, the Parent Plus loan, this was a common one as well when I was in school. This student loan is pretty much for your parents to apply for, and they obtain this loan for you. Not all parents will be able to obtain this money just because they apply for it. There are requirements. There are credit. They do review your credit, which credit is big. So be careful when it comes to student loans. Don't just take out the money because it's there and you don't think you have to pay it back. One thing is for sure is that student loans, you can't file bankruptcy and it goes away. In most cases, it does not. You still have to pay that money. If you pass away, hey, they may pass the debt to your kids. So be careful with student loans. And like I said, you don't want to take that money out just because. Do your research. There's a link as well that will drop in order for you guys to find out what student loans are out there for you to obtain. There's plenty. So just be careful when it comes to the student loans. Now, work study. I like work study because you're working towards something. You're paying for your education. A lot of people when I was in college did work study. Now, the hours for work study, depending on the university, you can work up to about 20 hours, I believe, a week. Like I said, it depends on the university. They set your schedule. Now, what is work study? If you work at the school, they help finance your education. That money that you earn while working, they attribute it to your college tuition. A lot of kids that are in an economic need apply for work study, and the financial aid counselors, they actually recommend work study for some. Whether if you want to work in the financial aid office, they'll help you. If your background or you're going to school for finance, then more than likely the work study that you'll be in is in the financial aid office because it's a job field of your study. Look at work study, talk to the financial aid counselors about work study if that's an option that you need to help pay for your college because it's there. Like I said, it's a resource. A resource is only as good as if you use it. If you don't use it, it was a waste. So work study is out there for you guys that are in college currently and need help or support to pay for college. Now, besides work study, we do have other sources. If you want to join the military, hey, the military will help pay for your college as well. It's out there. AmeriCorps, they help you as well. Scholarships, my biggest one. I can't stress enough on scholarships because there's so much money out there for scholarships that's left every single year and unclaimed. Suncoast Foundation, we offer scholarships. Some scholarships, you just have to write an essay. Now, if I told you all you had to do is write a one-paragraph essay and you have a chance to win, to obtain $2,000, everybody tuned in will be writing their essay away right now. My question to you is, why don't you do it for college? That money is out there. You get a scholarship just for being left-handed. That's a true statement. You also get scholarships just for being the first student in the first child in your family to go to college. So there's scholarships out there. The website as well will be dropped in the chat for you guys to go look in for scholarships. Private student loans, they're less favorable than the federal student loans because when it comes private, the interest rates are sometimes lower than the federal student loans, but the payment options can be a little tricky and more strict with that. So just be careful with private student loans. I recommend scholarships, grants, and work study over any loan because a loan is something you have to pay back. Scholarships, you don't have to pay those funds back. That's given to you. When I was in high school, I earned a scholarship from the Hillmeyer Tremont, and it was $16,000 that they gave me to go to college. Yes, $16,000 scholarship. If you take the average of the cost of school now, it's $25,000 a year. They paid for about half a semester for me. Look for the scholarships. Please, 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 please. If you can get a scholarship before you take out a loan, take the scholarship before. If I told you guys on this call today I'd give you $10,000, you don't have to pay it back, or hey, I'll give you $10,000 back, but every month you got to give me $200, you're going to take that $10,000 for free and run to the mall with it. So look at the scholarships, guys. The last point is cash out refinance or home equity loans. What is a cash out refinance? Pretty much it's cash out. If you own a asset free and clear, so pretty much let's say this. Say you own a car and you don't owe anything on it, and that car is worth $20,000. You can come to the bank and potentially be able to get $20,000 on that vehicle. You can use that money to go towards college. Now, the home equity loan, which is the same thing, but that's putting your house up, I don't really recommend it, but if you have to, hey, everybody's situation is different, so you got to do what you got to do to get to where you want to get. Basically, what the home equity loan is, your house is worth a certain amount of money. You can take that out on the house, but if you don't pay it back, your house can be taken from you by the bank. So if your family uses this as an option, the only thing I ask from you is to make sure you finish college and show them that their investment in you is worth it. Because if they're able to put their house on the line for you to go to college, that's pretty tough. That speaks volumes. So finish school if they put their house up. I don't recommend it. Go out there and look up the scholarships because there's millions of scholarships out there for you guys to obtain. Even to where your parents may work, their job may offer scholarships as well. I know my mother's job, they offered my sister a scholarship when she was in high school. So do your research, go out there, ask the questions, and look for scholarships. Now, tax breaks. Now, obviously, as I talked about, Uncle Sam, you can't get tax breaks when it comes to college and financing college. The American Opportunity Credit, it's a credit for qualified education expenses for the first 4 years. The Lifetime Learning Credit is a credit for expenses that incurs for a student in the last 2 years of college, and it's only used for higher education. The last one, the student loan interest deduction, if you went to college and you took out student loans, the interest that you pay every year, you can use that as a deduction on your taxes. You should receive a 1098-E from your lender, which tells you how much money you paid in interest. Don't be shocked when you see that interest statement because a lot of that money went to interest that you pay every month. But just do your research, check out what deductions you can get when you're paying for college. Also, these different tax breaks for your parents, if they are taking out money for you to attend college, consult with your CPA, your tax advisor, because they'll put you in a better position as well when it comes to taxes to help you get all the deductions that you can get. Now, balance. No matter what situation that you guys are in, you can get out of the hole. I know there's a lot of people out there that you'll see on social media that'll tell you like, hey, I can help you rebuild your credit. There's nothing that you cannot do yourself to help repair your credit, and I mean that. If you can't do it, reach out to a company that's qualified to help you rebuild your credit. Suncoast has a company called Balance that we have a partnership with, and they help you with counseling. They'll help you manage your money, get out of debt, repair your credit. I've seen it with my own eyes. I've seen many people come into the credit union, and their credit was shot. I mean, just shot. And I mean that. Their credit score was pretty low, in the low 400s. They reached out to Balance. Now they're in the high 7s. Yes, it took some time. Got to be disciplined. You have to pay off debt. Don't overspend. Don't take out money that you are going to be in a bind to pay back. Reach out to Balance. The contact information is there for you, their phone number and the website. If you feel that you're in a tough situation right now and you're unable to pay some of the money back, or you just feel that you're in a hole and you can't see the light, reach out to Balance, and also come talk to us at Suncoast. We're your advocate. We're here to help you guys. Also, Balance, they're doing a free webinar to help you fill out your FAFSA. There's 2 sessions. The first one's August 11th, and the second one is August 20th. Now, as I stated, it's a session for teens, but I highly recommend the parents to join and also get on that webinar with their children so they know how to fill out the FAFSA. And it's free. What's better than free? If they were charging you, I'm sure you guys would just swipe and keep going. But anything you see free, you stop to read it, right? When you're at the grocery store and you see something that says buy one, get one free, you go buy it even though you don't need it just to get the other item for free. So attend this webinar. It's out there. It's a resource for you. And use it. Don't let it go to waste. Like I said, Balance is there for you guys to help you get out of debt, help you repair your credit. They're a great company. They will ask you to send them your credit report. You guys can go on annualcreditreport.com and retrieve a free credit report from all 3 credit bureaus for free once a year, and that's by law. Every credit bureau has to give you a free credit report. They won't give you the score, but they'll give you the report. And that information you'll give to Balance for them to kind of help see where they need to make the change for you and consult with you. Now, I know I said a lot in this webinar today, but to kind of sum it up, plan early, guys. Don't start tomorrow, next month, next week. You should have started yesterday. Commit what you can. If $5 is all you can put away a week, hey, so what? At least you're doing something. You're doing something the other person is not, and you're moving towards bettering yourself for later in college. Now, to use your options of direct deposit, I love that option. Like I said earlier on this webinar, you don't see the money, you don't miss it. Have it go to an account to where you don't check. Just check it maybe every 6 months. You'll be surprised on how quickly that money will accumulate. And when you look at the balance, you'll be shocked. Don't touch it, but you'll be shocked. Take advantage of the assistance that's there. You have Suncoast Credit Union. We're here. We're your advocates. We are here to help you guys and put you in a better position. Go on to salliemae.com. Go on to studentaid.gov. Those are a few websites that I mentioned, but we did drop them in the chat. Go use those resources. Look up the scholarships. See what scholarships you can get. Apply early. Don't wait till the last minute. And like I said, the money is out there, so go get it. And a lot of it it's free money. And I say we leave so much money on the table, guys. It's ridiculous. There's so much unclaimed scholarship money left out there every single year. And you guys will be surprised on what you can get a scholarship for. You can pretty much get a scholarship for walking a straight line. I'm not joking. Go out there, use your resources. Um, Again, guys, I thank you guys for tuning in today. My name is Troy Simmons. Again, I'm the Service Center Manager at Suncoast Credit Union, Bonita Springs. There's my contact information with my direct extension. If you guys got any questions after this presentation, we're going to have a little Q&A in a moment. Also, you can reach out to me, give me a phone call. If I don't answer, please leave me a voicemail. I will be sure to get back to you within 28 to 48 hours. Again, I thank you guys for tuning in. Now we'll have some Q&A and see what I can answer for you guys. So let's go ahead and see what questions you guys have for me in the chat. So I do have one question that says, if my daughter does not have a Suncoast account, can I apply for a student loan for her? Absolutely. You can apply for student loans. That's through SallieMae.gov. Suncoast, we have a partnership with Sallie Mae. So you can go on to there and also look to apply for the student loans. Another question is, if you're a teacher, are student loans deferred? Yes, they're deferred. I believe they're deferred as long as you're a teacher. So check it out. That's why I commend teachers. If you take out student loans, hey, your payments are deferred. What other questions do we have? Let me take a peek.
We got a question. How much does it cost to start an account at Suncoast?
So to start an account at Suncoast, it's $5. I kid you not. It's $5 for a savings and checking account. I call it a combo package for $5. It's free. There's no monthly fees. There's no maintenance fees. There's no annual fees. The easiest way to put it is it's a free bank account. So great question. And now to even kind of piggyback on that is, before with Suncoast, you had to be a teacher to open an account with us. Now we're open to the public. So if you live, work, worship, you have a family member or a friend that has an account with Suncoast, you're also able to open up an account with Suncoast Credit Union. And we've just expanded as well to the East Coast. So if you have family members that reside in the Miami area, Fort Lauderdale, all up the East Coast, you're also eligible to open an account with Suncoast Credit Union. If you can't come into a branch, you can go on our website and open up an account as well at suncoastcreditunion.com, and you can join us there. We'd love to have you guys, because believe me, we'll help you out. That four-letter word, we're better than them, so open your eyes up to a credit union. I got another question that says, you have to have an account to apply for the scholarships. No, you don't, but I do recommend you having an account with Suncoast, but you do not have to have an account with Suncoast. What else?
Right, I see one that says, how can you create an effective but realistic college budget?
An effective college budget. So now with budgeting, I know it can be tricky when it comes to budgeting. If you have an account with Suncoast, we make it easy for you. We have a Sun Mobile on our app. You can go on there and you just swipe your debit card and it puts it in graphs where you spend your money. So what I would say is, go online. You can go online and pull up a budgeting spreadsheet and just list on where you're spending your money. You really don't know where you're spending your money until you review your bank account. So if you're spending a lot of money for food, hey, cut back on spending on food. If you spend your money on TV and you don't really watch TV, then hey, cut off the TV. Maybe that's a bill that you can save $50 a month, and now you can put that money elsewhere. There's many ways to create a budget. So what I would say to start off is to review how you spend your money. Don't just spend your money just to spend it because you have it. Take a look at your bank accounts, review it, put it on a spreadsheet. You can use your Suncoast app. It's free. It does it for you. You don't have to do anything. So for those of you that are on the side of not really taking control of it, Suncoast helps take control for you. Use it. Go online, Google a spreadsheet, and just pull up a budget and just write down how much money you want to spend. There's an old method called the envelope method where you put $200 in an envelope and say it's for groceries. You got $200 to use for that month. If you go in that envelope and there's no money, then guess what? There's no groceries to buy. If you have an envelope for entertainment or miscellaneous activities and you put $150 in there, if it's time to go out with the guys on the weekend, there's no money in that envelope, guess what? Don't go out with the guys that weekend. And what else do we have?
I see. If I get a work study job, how many hours would I be required to work per week?
So with the work study, again, I would recommend you guys talking with your financial aid counselors at the university. But typically 20 hours, I think they work a week, no more than 20 hours. But again, it depends on the need and also the university on what their restrictions are for work study hours. So great question. What else do we have out there? Any other questions, guys? Okay, so I'll leave you guys with two quotes. Again, I thank you guys for tuning in today. I hope I taught you something today. One quote that I'll leave with you guys is a quote from Kobe Bryant. Kobe says, "It's not the destination, it's the journey." So with that quote, no matter what you're going through, do not worry about where you're trying to go. Focus on the journey. With things that you see in the stores, how a product is put on a shelf, it takes a lot for a product to reach a shelf. Nobody cares about what took place for it to get there, but in all reality, that's the biggest piece of it. So on your journey, stay focused. Don't veer off. Don't listen to people if they tell you like, hey, you can't do this, you can't do that. Listen to yourself, stay focused. The other quote that I'll leave with you guys is from Malcolm X that I really, really like. Malcolm X says, "Education is our passport to the future, for tomorrow belongs to the people who prepare for it today." So don't wait for tomorrow. Don't wait for next week. Go ahead and take advantage today so your tomorrow is better for you and you prepare your future better down the road. Again, if you guys need anything, if you got any questions, please reach out and I'll do whatever as I can to help you guys. So again, thank you guys for tuning in. Have a great day and stay safe.
Man, that was awesome, Troy. I appreciate you. I appreciate Suncoast for partnering with O.B.O. I look forward to doing more work with you guys. This is a first part of our three-part series. Next, we'll be doing understanding credit and homeownership. And if it's anything like today, man, I think it's going to be pretty good and pretty informative. Troy did an awesome job. Suncoast did an awesome job. And I look forward to seeing you guys again. Again, thank you for coming on here and receiving the information. And stay safe.
All right. Thank you, Jaylen. I look forward to working with you and continue to educate our community because they need it. I'm glad that you are actually using your platform to give the people the information. So if we can continue to work together, let's do it, man. I appreciate you as well.
For sure, man.